opposed, same sign. It has been passed with a unanimous vote to approve last meeting business.
I move to bring up Bill 15-30.
It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1535, the second completion of previously passed legislation, 2013-2014 session and 2014-2015 session. It's amendable, debatable, and it requires a 2/3 majority. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name, Packard. All opposed, same sign. With the unanimous vote, Bill 1535 passes. Moving right along to new business. Yes.
I make a motion to bring up Bill 1540.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1540, creation of the PSG Committee on Sustainability. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time? Trevor, would you like to start? You welcome the bill.
Yeah, so I'd like to point out that our Director of Sustainability, Austin Sheets, is here if you need to direct any questions to him. I unfortunately have to leave shortly to proctor an exam, but until then, just to give background on this, sustainability has been a part of SPA. Previously, we have a Director of Sustainability, and we run Greek State Green, but that's all we've really ever done. And we're looking to expand what we can do, but we don't have the personnel to do that, especially with the other things we're focusing on this year, strategic plan and focus groups and surveys that we've been doing much more than we have previously. So our goal with this is to have a separate ad hoc committee of DOD members and senators that can work together independently of either group to better improve sustainability at Purdue. We give some examples in there, and we have some others that we filed as well.
Yes.
I have two questions for you, Trevor.
Sure.
First of all, do you already have enough people who are interested in other committees or branches to staff an ad hoc committee?
I believe we do. People on my committee have expressed that interest, and people in other committees as well, and senators. I've heard from Hannah that there are these other interests.
Okay. Second question: do you feel that this is something that would benefit from having its own EA committee in the future?
It past this year or just
yes?
As a standing committee.
Yeah.
We haven't really thought that quite far in advance. It would have to depend on how this goes, I think. If it goes very well, then I'm sure we could consider that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Senator Emery?
I'd just like to say that as a previous member of SPA last year, there certainly was not enough time to devote energy to things like sustainability aside from the specific director of sustainability. So there wasn't really a whole lot of work done with it. This year, seeing a lot of interest. I think it's a great idea to form this committee, and I think it's a step in the right direction in collaborating between the board of directors and the Senate.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name, Packard. All opposed, same sign. Abstentions. With the unanimous vote, Bill 1540, creation of the PSG Committee on Sustainability, passes. Yes.
I make a motion to bring up Bill 1541. Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1541, co-sponsorship of Society of Women Engineers. It's amendable, debatable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time? Yes.
I'd like to sort of build on what was previously said in the presentation. Society of Women Engineers has been my experience with college of engineering. It definitely helps to either bring new students on campus to explore Purdue, even if engineering is not for them. And definitely they provide services that go beyond just the women engineers within Purdue.
Senator Hall.
Yeah, I just had kind of just a point to consider. Since this event is happening next semester in April, I just wanted to see if you guys know if you want to take, if we were to fund them, would this come from this current semester's co-sponsorship allocation of 12,000, or would we just proactively take it from next semester's?
Senator Hall.
I envision it coming from this semester. I mean, they applied for the semester, and then if all goes as planned, we'll have a little bit of a different system next semester. So I don't think, since they were applying under this current application process, I assume why not this semester?
Yes, Senator McNeil.
I'd just like to say my sister is a woman in engineering, and I know how difficult it is for outreach programs and things like that for women in engineering. So kudos to you guys for doing what you're doing.
Thank you. All right, is there any further discussion at this time? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. Yeah. All opposed, same sign. Abstentions. Okay, so with a vote of 24-01, Bill 1541 for the sponsorship of Society of Women Engineers passed. Yes. It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up Bill 1543, co-sponsorship for the Human Development and Family Sciences Club, or Family Studies Club.
Okay, so yeah, this is a really awesome event that Rachel Bauer, the principal, is talking about. So they're bringing it on to campus, we're invited from Goodwill. And what I like about this event is, first of all, Asian Justice has got a lot of women working opportunities in the bigger colleges like Cannon and college engineering. Additionally, they're only asking for $100, and they're expecting about students to show up, so we're talking like $1.10 per student, which is awesome. And then also, this event is coming from HHS, but it's not just for HHS students. They're going to be marketing it to all of campus and
Senator Mackey.
Direct question to Senator McDonald. Do we just get like a distance?
at the moment, never been.
Is there any further discussion? Yes.
Is there a representative between the developers and the studies?
No, because we're
Yeah. Hi. I came to represent Rachel. She kind of just told me at last minute. I believe that you said everything that there is to be said, so if there's any questions, I'll take those.
Any further discussion?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, seeing none, we will now move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand placards. All opposed, same sign. With a unanimous vote, Bill 1543, co-sponsorship of Human Development and Family Studies Club passes. Yes.
I move to bring up recommendation 1501.
It's been properly moved and seconded to bring up recommendation 1501. Sam, would you like to speak about it?
I would, thank you. So, as you guys, some of you may know, current university smoking policy says that smoking is prohibited on the West Lafayette campus except in designated smoking areas. Because this policy was written years and years ago, it does not account for newer technologies such as vaping and e-cigarettes. It has been found that secondhand vapors from these devices, while less dangerous than tobacco products, do cause measurable amounts of damage in secondhand smoke in the form of nicotine as well as violent organic compounds. And there's been plenty of research done, as I cited in the bill. And on top of that, 66% of students do support regulations upon e-cigarettes, vaping devices, things like that, with only 16% opposing it. What my bill is proposing is actually less restrictive than the current university policy for smoking. It's just attempting to get the university to ban them from use in university buildings so that people, whether you want to use it or not, that's really none of my concern, but I'm more concerned making sure that people aren't exposed to secondhand smoke that is known to release certain carcinogens. Also, sorry, one more thing. I would like to make a friendly amendment. I'm stuck in my own ways. That's a recommendation. It needs to say resolution instead. So that I would like to make a friendly amendment, just changing it from recommendation.
Maybe
15, resolution 1560 instead of recommendation.
Okay. Resolution 15. Yes, Sarah.
About the recommendation, I'm all for it. You can actually vape in kitchens on Purdue's campus, and I know for a fact people actually do vape on Purdue's campus kitchens. So you can actually vape right in the food that people are eating, which is kind of disgusting. So you might not even be around people vaping, but yet they're still doing it, and so it gets into your food. You're kind of eating.
Just to address like the need of this resolution, I've spoken to several administrators, especially in Res Life and university residences. I know Brian Prendergast has as well, and I know that they've been aware of this issue for a while, but they've been waiting for student feedback to act on it and actually enact a policy change so that they will have that backing. So basically, more or less everyone wants this. They just want our feedback on it, I should say.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. With the unanimous vote, resolution 1516 passes. Yes.
I motion to bring up Bill 1542.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the floor at this time? So Malloy, would you like to start?
Yes. So, I wrote this bill because I identified a solution to the problem of the deficit of representation in this body. As you know, I'm a representative from the College of Engineering, the largest college on campus, but I'm still a principled person in the fact that I believe the majority rules, but they also have to protect the rights and the entitlements of the minority. So with that, I'd like to start a factual debate here tonight. So, fact number one, there are students on campus who walk around enrolled in colleges that are not currently represented at this table with no voting rights. Those colleges are the Honors College and Veterinary Medicine. Fact number two, all academic colleges on this campus have representation at this table, except for those two colleges that I just mentioned. And so I think that provides a clear precedent for giving further academic colleges equal representation at this table. Fact number three, there are people on this campus with 6 or 9 or however many senators. They're called double majors, they're called agricultural and biological engineers. And I would say that this is all right because each college they're in has a unique set of goals and priorities for those students. And as you heard tonight, the Honors College has 4 unique pillars that no other college represents. And I think that's really important to keep in mind, and that I don't think that any of us can accurately represent those viewpoints here at this table. Finally, I understand in caucus, an issue was brought forth with how people would vote for the Honors College representative, and this is one of the reasons why this bill is being brought forward in late October. We have, 6 months to figure out this type of issue. I think it's extremely prudent to delay an individual's representation based on hypothetical situations and procedural issues. So finally, this is a bill of inclusion. It's a bill of facts. And more importantly, it's a bill that challenges the dangers of the status quo of Purdue Student Government. So I invite those senators who stand for those principles to vote yes with me on this amendment.
All right, Senator Getty.
While there are points that Senator Moeller just said that I would agree with, there are students that are not being represented on this body currently, and those students are the students in the College of Veterinary Medicine. the students in the college, or the honors college, have representation on this body. Every single student in the honors college, unless they're in vet med, are not represented, or are represented on this body. So therefore, I move to amend the therefore clause to read, therefore be it amendment that Article 2, Section 1, Part B1A of the Purdue Student Government Constitution state, A, there shall be 3 senators representing each of the following schools/colleges. The College of Agriculture, the College of Education, the College of Engineering, the College of Health and Human Sciences, the College of Liberal Arts, the School of Management, the College of Pharmacy, the College of Science, the Purdue Polytechnic Institute, the College of Veterinary Medicine, and the Exploratory Studies Program.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to amend the therefore clause in Bill 1542. This amendment requires a majority vote. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time? Senator Young.
I share the same opinion as Senator Debbie, and I would just like to say for everyone who came out today, like, thank you so much for like showing that you're interested in what student government does. That's awesome. And I do believe you all have representation unless you are from vet med, and it's nice getting emails from you guys, but anything you guys ever need, your senator is here for you. And, like, no matter if you're an honor student or not an honor student, if you're a Granite student, actually even if you're not a Granite student, like, I will help you get to your senator somehow. Like, always feel free to come talk to us. I talked to a honors college student earlier tonight, and he actually said he didn't understand why this was necessary because he already has senators speaking on his behalf. And that was coming from a student at the honors college.
Senator Friedland.
2 points I want to make. One, from the students that I've talked to or have reached out to me, it does seem like this is a issue that's divided along the line of whether they're in honors college or not. Pretty much every student I've talked to that wasn't in the honors college did feel like there was a threat of overrepresentation. On top of that, I do think that this risks a slippery slope of, you could say athletics, for example. Those students, they are technically represented in our major, but then they also have other specific needs. So then if we include athletics, then all of a sudden you get the cultural centers, you get the different fraternities all on representation. As there are student bodies on campus that every student body has different needs. But I do think the most fair way to represent them is breaking them down by the majors.
Senator Armory.
So I think there's something that we can all agree on, and that is giving veterinary medicine representation, because they are the ones that are not represented whatsoever at this table. So I think that this is an amendment that we can at least all agree does something good that can pass. However, I too have some concerns with giving the honors college full seats like the other academic degree granting colleges, because we're intentionally giving people double representation, it seems. However, it has been made the point that there are some specific interests, so I don't see the issue with discussing some sort of a compromise, maybe a non-voting seat or something like that, to make sure that we are addressing some concerns. So I would welcome any senators who have strong opinions about that to make things up.
Senator Malloy.
I'd like to amend the amendment to say, and 1 senator representing the honors college.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. So you would like to amend the amendment to say, and 1 student,
Correct, at the end. Yep.
and 1 student representing the honors college.
And 1, yes, so we'd say 3 senators representing, and I think you listed off all the other academic colleges.
Yeah, I have the amendment. Yeah. Okay, so it's been properly moved and seconded to amend the amendment. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time about the amendment to the amendment? Yes.
So I don't see this bill as more as of like how many seats you get and all this. It's about making sure every student has a vote. I see the colleges as just like a way of organizing this body, but we aren't the voice of our college. We're the voice of the constituents within that college. What I'm saying here is we're making sure every single undergraduate student or professional student has a voice, and other than adding veterinary medicine, they have a voice. I can't think of a single issue where if the Honors College was not represented, that students from that college would not have a voice at this table by going to their senators from their other college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with the amendment for unit. I don't think that's solving the problem. They still representation, not again, slightly less than the other, but they're still getting a representation that other students are not getting.
Yes, Senator Toll.
I guess my problem with the amendment to the amendment is that it's no longer we're operating as a Senate. We're operating as like, so half of it, like a Senate is where there's equal representation for everyone at the table. That's just a procedural issue in my mind, but it's just if there's not 3 seats, we're not operating as a Senate anymore. We're operating as a weird house.
Senator Scott.
I'd like to use my time to
I just want to have a point of clarification. So on this campus, the board of directors does consider us an academic college equal to all other academic colleges at Purdue University. We represent about 8% of the population of the student body, and I think that those students have unique needs that are not equally being represented at this table currently. I'll give you an example. So tonight you voted on a bill to not have e-cigarettes in residence halls or building. We will have our own building that we will have our own students in, that we will be able to want to voice those concerns for something that's directly affecting our population. So yes, there are needs. There is a need for this, and there is not a voice at the table for something that is very particular to that population of students.
Senator Mackey.
First of all, to address specifically the residence hall question, there is a body on campus called the Residence Hall Association that has representatives from every single residence hall that meet weekly to discuss such matters, including policy. And the Honors College will absolutely have representation there. That's not really something that affects the entire student body. Second point, I think that there is precedence in PSG from prior years. We used to have something called 4 senators, which I believe the requirements was like 1 international student and I can't remember what the other. 1 international, 1 minority student were required to be on it. So there's precedence for that kind of system, which I could see, possibly being brought back. However, as it currently stands, I'm a little bit opposed to this amendment to the amendment because it doesn't provide a clear structure of what we should allow in the future. If we're talking about precedence in academic colleges, I think we need to go either all 3 or none in terms of senators, because as Senator Toll suggested, if we're not doing equal representation, then you're disagreeing with the fundamental principle of the thing.
Senator Peter.
I've heard some really interesting ideas for compromise, which I really think are great, but I also don't know if we should be trying to construct a compromise on the floor. Like this amendment to the amendment is an attempt at a compromise, and attempts at compromise are great, but I don't know if we should necessarily be saying, okay, well, we're going to try to compromise on this big decision to our Constitution in the 10 minutes of speaking time that we don't collectively have on this bill.
Senator Malloy.
So earlier it was mentioned, where does it end, like Purdue athletics, et cetera, et cetera. This would draw a clear line. Academic colleges can set up, that's precedent in PSG currently. And then I would say that it does appear that the amendment to the amendment that I suggested is one that I'm trying to come to a compromise, yes. And I don't think that you necessarily have to make every single compromise behind closed doors. There are a lot of students who reached out to everyone here. While it was a form letter, they took the time to still go out of their way and contact you. PSG, like every day almost, I feel like I hear about how can we engage students more, how can we engage students more. You have students engaged, and I view this as just completely ignoring their voice.
Senator Young.
I would like to yield 2 minutes of speaking time on the floor.
Thank you. So just to kind of chime in, I understand what your point is, but in the same sense, I believe it was Senator Freeland who said, if we're going to talk about groups that aren't represented, there's athletes that have certain needs, and there's athletes. Every athlete has a major, and they fall into your individual colleges. In the same sense, everyone in the honors college, one of you guys represents every single one of those people. In addition, yeah, that's basically my point. And so, for the example with the smoking and the e-cigarettes in the residence halls, if they have that issue, they can bring it to their senator of their other academic college. It doesn't necessarily have to be a double voice. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Senator Jones.
I'd like to use my speaking time to with the audience.
Addressing that point you just raised, in a situation where you ask your constituents, or your constituents come to you with their opinion on an issue, and you have, let's say, one honor student to about 3 non-honor students that bring this to you, will that honor student's opinion really be brought to the larger good, or will you represent the opinion of your larger constituency? And in this regard, the honor students themselves, a large constituency, well, small in a sense to whole campus, are not being truly represented, in that they have to go through a channel that does not truly represent their needs, that are different than what each individual college group say. And I would not task my senator with trying to represent me over fellow agriculture students that have a different opinion than an honor student has.
I don't know, Matt, race first, D.
On that point, like every single group on campus, even within the colleges, has unique issues, unique views. For example, I'm not part of the English department in the College of Liberal Arts, but if one of them brought an issue to me, I wouldn't completely understand it, but I would try my best to learn to support it. There might be times when certain groups have stronger voices than others within my college, but that doesn't mean they deserve more representation. This isn't about certain issues getting certain people to vote for. It's about representation. You are represented in whatever college you are a part of. Maybe they didn't represent you to your liking. I mean, that's what elections are for.
Senator Winston?
Yeah, so I have a direct question to, is it the advisor of the Honors College?
I'm the program director of the
Program director. Yeah, okay. So I know each individual college has a representative on the Senate committee, the University Senate Committee. Does the Honors College have a representative on the University Senate Committee as is?
The Senate committee?
No, the university. Faculty.
Faculty Senate. The Faculty Senate? Yes. I mean, our associate dean does serve in that capacity, and our dean does serve at the dean's table with all the rest of the deans on campus. So we have equal representation from an academic sense on campus, yes.
Sam is really making eyes at me, so. Senator Cleveland?
Because I love that dress, but I would also, now this is a sad truth, I would also like to bring up that the constituents don't reach out to us as much as I think anybody thinks that they do. Now I can only speak for myself, but it's not like we get 20 issues a day and we have to selectively choose the ones that affect most constituents the most. I love getting any emails because that means that people recognize that we have a function on campus, which I really think is important.
Senator McDonald?
Hi, I'm Matthew S. I'm with the College of Science, computer science specifically. I would like to just say at the beginning that this isn't a matter of hypotheticals or procedural issues. This is a matter of representation. I'm firmly against the bill being passed on Sprint State. Also, the amendment to the amendment being made that provides 1 voting seat to the Honors College. The Purdue Student Bill of Rights says student representation on university committees shall be provided wherever appropriate as a mode of student participation, end quote. Each student is granted an equal voice. Representation is not granted based on how hard someone works, and this is true of any well-formed representative democracy. No group of individuals has an inherent right to more influence. Specifically, this bill regarding voting seats for students in Honors College disregards this. Every student of the Honors College is also a member of one of the colleges that is currently represented in the Senate, minus the vegetarian poll. Thus, there can be no argument that their needs are not considered as long as they are reaching out to their senators. Any special interest of an honor student can be handled by this so that I would agree that it makes sense to hear the unique perspective of the students in the Honors College in DSG, which is why a solution involving non-voting seats would be much more reasonable. However, to give voting seats to the Honors College would do nothing but give every student in the Honors College representation, because they can not only talk to their Honors College representative as an honors student, they can talk to whatever other college representative as that student. Thank you.
Yes, Senator Shepherd.
Thank you, Caitlin. Okay, so he's making great points. I mean, I am all about representation for everyone. I really love that you guys are here. I used to be a senator, so I see where they're coming from. They're here for you. I've been there, I've been in that seat. Like, we don't hear from enough people as representatives of the student body. But I also want to point out that there are 38,000 students that are in Honors College. And I know that there's people in Honors College who are on Senate right now, yes. Is there anybody who's in Honors College?
Please raise your hand if you're in Honors College.
Thank you. So there's a whole of guys right there. 3, 4.
3? Okay.
4. Thank you for interrupting me during my speaking time. But I would like to point out that there are people here that can help you specifically understanding your needs. Whether or not they're in the liberal arts with you is different, but they are in the Honors College. And as an elected representative, you are a representative of your constituents within your college, but you're also an elected representative of the entire student. You're here for everyone. And your goal as a senator, as at least when I was a senator, is to make it better for everyone. So if you guys reach out to them, they will help you. Like, they will help you. And I just don't think that it's fair, and especially as a person who's not a part of the Honors College, to not get that double representation. Even if I was interdisciplinary or whatever you guys are, because I don't really know a lot about you, but it's just not as equal taking as independence.
Senator Hall.
I would just like to point out with the key here. AJ is probably one of the most diverse colleges here. We have, I'm in HTM, but yet I represent the nursing student. I can't stand law. So, like, but he doesn't mean, like, I had a nursing student reach out to me about this particular issue. And, like, she's not in the Honors College. I've also had students reach out to me. This is, I mean, I've been a senator, this is my second term. I've seen many different issues come up. This is the first, like, I've had more people come out to me for this. As well as, I know there's a lot of people that's given me the email. But I've also had, actually, more of them reach out to me that were not in the Honors College. And I would just like to point out that people in my college, they vote for me. They didn't vote, they could have ran themselves, they could have voted for a different person hypothetically, or like, but they voted to choose me based on my beliefs and what I stood for. And if they didn't think that I could represent them correctly, they should not have voted for me.
Senator McDonald.
I would address the exploratory studies and building major thing. As far as the exploratory studies goes, I agree that we do. I just recently found out about the fact that they're in CLA, which I didn't realize. And I'm going to try to look into the future on this bill, but at some point. And then a couple of major things. I am a real teacher. I'm actually a teacher trainer and HHS. And when I vote for things, I live in the major body actually. When I vote for things officially, I have to vote with my primary college. I don't get to vote twice. So, for example, during the elections last year before I was senator, my primary college was Krannert. So during the elections, I voted for Krannert senators, not the senators.
Thank you. And just so you know, you're out of speaking time. All right. Sarah Malloy.
Yeah, so I'm hearing a lot of, we'll still listen to you if you're honors and you're in our college, but I think this bill is a perfect example of you're not listening to them and they're honor students in your college. And while this is like a very specifically like honors interested bill, I would also say it's not really specifically honors interested bill because there is this College of Veterinary Sciences included in it. And I just think this is a perfect example of people clearly don't listen to the honors voice in their own college when it comes to honors issues.
Aditi.
I'd like to make 2 points. First on exploratory studies, while they are housed within the buildings of our College of Liberal Arts, they are not a part of the College of Liberal Arts. When you are in exploratory studies, that's your major, and that's the college that you are in. You are not also considered a part of the College of Liberal Arts. So they are, if they were not to have a seat, they would not be represented at all. They would not be represented by the College of Liberal Arts. Secondly, I did listen to the people from the Honors College that contacted me. They sent me emails, I replied to them, I listened to their concerns, but just because I listen to a member doesn't mean I have to agree with what they're saying. Listening isn't about taking their viewpoint, it's about considering it, and I very much did consider it, and I decided the other way.
Saturday.
I have a few points to make. First of all, I'm definitely against adding seats, voting or non-voting for the Honors College. Because even adding non-voting seats, I mean, for example, Carly just talked to us. She doesn't have a voting privilege right now, but she just explained our opinion. That's what the honors people should be doing if they really do have voices that they want to be heard at our Senate meetings. Or, I mean, they could do things like email us or anything like that. Additionally, though, we're talking about the amendment, so point of order, we should call a question.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to call the question. It requires a 2/3 vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. That's everyone. Okay. With the unanimous vote, it passes to call the question. Means that we're voting on the amendment to the amendment. Yes. All in favor, please raise your name placard.
Of the amendment.
Yes.
Joe.
All opposed, same sign. Abstentions? With a vote of 218 for the amendment, and the amendment fails. We are now back to the amendment proposed by Getty. Would you like me to reread that? What the proposed amendment is? Okay. Can you email this to me? Okay. It states, there shall be 3 senators representing each of the following schools of colleges. The College of Agriculture, the College of Education, the College of Engineering, the College of Health and Human Sciences, the College of Liberal Arts, the School of Pharmacy, the School of Management, the College of Pharmacy, the College of Science, the Purdue Polytechnic Institute, the College of Veterinary Medicine, and the Exploratory Studies Program. Non-voting members, there shall be 1 senator representing each. No.
Sorry.
Nope.
That was
Okay, yep. So that was the amendment. Is there any discussion on the floor at this time about the amendment? Yes.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to call the question on the amendment. It requires a 2/3 majority vote. All in favor, please raise your name placards. Oh, it is now, everyone, isn't it? Okay. So with the unanimous vote, it passes to call the question, so now we are voting on this amendment. All in favor, please raise your name placard. Okay. All opposed, same sign. 2. Abstentions? 2. With a vote of 21-2, the amendment passes. So we are now back to discussion about Bill 1542. Yes?
Motion to change the 3rd whereas clause, whereas this language includes the College of Veterinary Medicine.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to change the 3rd whereas clause, okay, to this language excludes the College of Veterinary Medicine. Okay.
Point of information, so that's an amendment, right? That's all that is?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Correct question, Senator Benio shows that from the way I read it, that is referencing the first whereas clause, not the amended therefore clause.
So this is the third whereas clause references the first one because it currently doesn't include the College of Veterinary Medicine.
Correct. Then the third whereas clause says, whereas this language excludes two existing academic colleges, the Honors College and the College of Veterinary Medicine. I don't believe that it's changed because we only amended the therefore